So hey everyone, welcome to our first lesson here at ArtSpace Quarantine Edition. Today is June 7th and today we'll be learning how to create a collage in order to tell a story. So here I have a couple examples of artists. Let me pull them up real quick. So here's Ramir Bearden. He's an artist, African-American artist during the Harlem Renaissance. He works with a lot of collage methods, photo montage with, and then we have Faith Ringwald, whose fun fact, her mother was a fashion designer, so when she was a little girl, she liked working with fabrics. But initially she was a painter, and it wasn't until decades later where she really started to work with fabrics and quilts especially. This became one of her most famous works of art and the medium that she's well known for. A contemporary artist here is Billy Sandegwa. She is currently living in South Africa and she works with the subject matter of the mundane feminism that is overlooked in our society. So instead of going against patriarchy, she's more like letting people know that being a mother and being a woman with, like, obviously being a mother is also a very empowering role that women should really own instead of feeling degraded by. And so I think she really likes to capture the mundane subject matter.
All right, let me pull up. So one of my favorite artists, it's for later, here we go. One of my favorite contemporary artists is Jideka Akunili Crosby. So she is originally from Nigeria. She's now living in New York City making art. And she uses collage also. She likes to celebrate also just the beauty of everyday life and just like this intimate moment here between her and her husband. Here's one of her family just kind of chatting around the dinner table. And she really celebrates her family and the fact that she's Nigerian and she's got, looks like Nigerian family members here, along with her husband who was born in the United States, just celebrating her family in that way. Here is another one. It's a little bit large, so that's actually two panels here. But one thing that I really love about her work is she uses both found papers along with photographs. I'll make this a little bit bigger here again. So these are photographs in this area of her family, and then also fabric to create her collages. This fabric here, you can see a portrait on it. It's called portrait fabric. It comes from her home of Nigeria, and the fabric is made with images of people as a celebration of people that are loved ones in your life. And then she also collages all of the paper and fabric materials and then paints over them as well. So this, I believe, is a painting of her on top of these collage materials. So I'm both fascinated by her subject matter celebration of her family and also the materials that she uses. So back to you, Maria.
Thank you. That was very interesting. I can really see the similarities between her and Billy.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Fascinating. So of course you guys are all familiar with how to create collages. So I'll just make this really brief, but also informative at the same time. So of course, being stuck in your house and you have there's a lot of variety than you think you have. So I think one of the most interesting things that you could probably work on, especially during these times, is using junk mail to create collages. And there's a lot of other kinds of paper that you could use. So if you guys don't know what collage is, which I'd be surprised if you didn't, collaging is essentially layering paper on top of one another to create this very layered work of art. And so you could use literally anything to make a collage. And so what I have here is a lot of magazines that you could use if you have magazines, or if you don't, you could also use construction paper. Really, the limit is non-existent. You could literally use anything that you have at home to create a collage. As far as a base, you could use cardstock or any other paper that you do have, even if it's just construction paper, maybe even cardboard. Since it's sturdier, you could use that. But of course, when you create a collage, you're going to want your scissors and your glue. And to create a collage, even if you don't have scissors, you can always tear paper. And so you'll just grab your piece of paper and cut shapes out of it. But if you're more of a type A kind of person, you can always sketch it out on your sketchbook and maybe test out some colors and figure out what it is you want to do. Of course, the prompts for this collage is about a story. So you could make something about a moment that is funny to you, a moment that made you really happy, even sad if you wanted to, or if you wanted to create a collage based off an experience that taught you something, then that's fascinating and fantastic to do as well. So here's one that I made weeks ago. This has nothing to do with families, but this is an example of a sketch with like colors that you could probably point to. Of course, you don't always have to reference a sketch because you should be open for things to change as you go. So that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you. Yeah. So if y'all want to get started on this before Tuesday, that's great. Or hopefully we'll be seeing you also Tuesday at 11 o'clock for our Zoom class, where we can have some more discussion on these artists and get started together. So we'll see you all then. All right, have a good day. Bye.